So I can give it the eye. Start with the Pledge of Allegiance. The flag is back in the back corner. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah, the meeting has been properly posted and all the normal posting practices. We'll move on to a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
We have a motion and a second to approve the agenda. Is there any discussion? All in favor then say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All the same sign. Motion carried. We're on to the minutes of November 30th.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of November 30th at 7 p.m. open session.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Are there any additions, corrections to those minutes? And all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
All the same sign. Motion's carried. We're on to the financial report and bill listing.
I'll make a motion to approve the bill listing payroll direct deposit number 920053087 through 900053189 in the amount of $153,660.73. Direct deposit number 900053190 through 900053294 in the amount of $137,027. Wire transfers for payroll liabilities, wire number 202000128 through 202000153 in the amount of $305,771.76. For total payroll in the amount of $596,516.05. Accounts payable check numbers 54539 through 54550 in the amount of $33,061.06. AP wire transfer 202000136 through 202000138 in the amount of $4,821.90. Credit card transactions 112020 in the amount of $19,541.56. AHP direct deposit number 202100032 202100037 in the amount of $427.20. Total accounts payable of $57,852.30. Total disbursements of $654,358.41.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the bill listing. Are there any questions? Okay, all in favor of approving the bill listing? Say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Okay, delegations to be heard. Do you have a signage sheet?
We signed up to talk.
No time to talk. Did you do anything on it?
Nope, nothing from the email.
Okay. So we will move on from delegations to be heard to district administrative report.
No donations or personnel actions at this time.
Okay, the information we will have the audit.
All right. Thank you. Where would you like me to present from? Right here?
That works for me.
All
Yeah,
right.
that works good. You're the
All right.
microphone, so that works great.
Perfect. I'm Brian Mechnick. I'm a partner at Riley Carter Benton. We did the June 30th, 2020 audit. It was quite a unique year for everything, including the audit. The audit actually went really smooth, even though you guys were transitioning with the business managers at the time. Just kind of a highlight, financial statements present fairly. So it's an unmodified opinion issued, which is a clean opinion, which is the opinion you're looking for. It's the highest opinion you can get. So we adopted GASB 84 fiduciary activities this year. That was a change to the beginning net position by $9,021. That relates to the student activity accounts used to be recorded in Fund 60 as a fiduciary fund. Since it's not in a trust or anything restricted, it has to be recorded in the general fund or Fund 21. And those are mainly gifts, so they go to Fund 21. So we adjusted Fund 21 for that $9,000. And then all the activity for the year, usually it acts as an asset and a liability. It's just a wash between the two. Now it's actually, it shows revenue and expenses, and then you have your fund balance at the end of the year, which is reserved for that purpose. So that was pretty much the change for this year, so it's nothing huge. Then we had the general fund. You had an increase in your fund balance this year of $312,533. Your general fund, at the end of the year, the fund balance was $68,930 for non-spendable, and this is what your prepaids were. Then we had an assigned this year, which you haven't had in the past. That was for $380,000, and that's additional cost due to COVID-19 that you didn't have the expenses this year, so you're carrying it over to the next year. So that shows up as an assigned fund balance. Then you had a restricted fund balance, $1,961, and that relates to the coming school library aid that you did not spend the full amount. So that shows up as restricted. Then we have unassigned, which this year is at $3,224,000, which was down a little from last year. It was at $3,248,000. The main reason for that is because you assigned that $380,000. So overall, everything looks good. Then we have a general fund expenditures this year of $9,588,666, which is 38.31% of your fund balance. So a lot of districts try to go between anywhere between around 25%. So you're good. That area, you have the additional funds because of COVID that you carried over to the next year. Then we have our general fund expenditures. You budgeted for Fund 10, $8,823,000. Actual expenditures were $8,313,000. So you spent 94.22% of your budget. And we pretty much saw that at a lot of our districts where they didn't spend the full budget because of COVID, with not being in class and so forth, that a lot of expenses they didn't have this year. So that we kind of expected that. And then Fund 27, you budget $1,277,000. Actual expenses were $1,275,000. So you spent 99.78% of that budget. Revenues, your budget was $9,548,000 for Fund 10, and your actual was $9,788,000. So you received 102.5% of your budget. For Fund 27, your budget was $414,000 revenue. Your actual was $436,000. So you received 105.26% of your budget revenue. Your debt, this year you obtained general obligation debt of $500,000 back in July of 2019. You paid a principal of $68,182 on that this year, and interest of $5,570. Then the lovely pension. This is the WRS stuff that we report in footnote 6 on page 21. We show net pension asset this year of $1,005,000. Deferred inflows related to the pension, so that's like an asset of $2,165,000, and then deferred out inflows referred to for the pension of $3,013,000. So net of all of those, it's asset. It's a positive $157,784. And there were no changes with the actuarial assumptions in this current year. Then we have the supplemental pension, which is in footnote 7 on page 26. You had your deferred outflows, which is an asset of $70,215, and the pension liability of 166,000. So it's a net liability of 96,000, which was 143,000 last year. And that decreased because they use a different discount rate this year. The actuaries use 3.75% compared to 3.5% the year before. If you look in the footnotes, it shows you if it changes 1%, how much it is. For the pension, for footnote 6, if it changes 1%, it could be millions of dollars that changes. So not as much with the supplemental pension, and then the post-employment benefit, which is the OPEB, that's on footnote 8, page 28. That discount rate also decreased from 3.75 to 3.5. And the net liability for that is 67,470, which compared to the net liability the year before, 57,000. So, and then there's additional schedules that show that are required for all three of those that are in the footnotes or in the supplementary schedules. And then we have, there's no federal single audit in the current year. If you receive over 750,000 in federal funds, you have to have a federal single audit. You were under that threshold. We did do a state single audit, so we tested special education and your general aid. We had no findings related to that. We have a significant deficiency in the management letter, which also shows in the report, which we've had every year, and that's for preparation of the financial statements. So all these GASB adjustments and the OPEB and the WRS, all those footnote disclosures, those are your responsibility. And I don't know of really any district in the state that can actually put all those disclosures in there. So you rely on us to help with that. You guys review it. But with our standards, we have to issue a significant deficiency for that. So nothing to be worried about. And then we have other comment, which is segregation of duties. Just based off of having mainly a small accounting department, it's hard to have everything, but you guys put in controls in place to help mitigate that. So some districts where they don't have as many controls in place, we actually give a significant deficiency for that. But we don't give you guys one, we just put it in the other comment section. Then we have the actuarial report for the post-employment benefits. You need a new actuarial study July 1st of 2021. That will be used for the 2022 school year. And then new GASB coming up is GASB 87 for leases. That's for years ending, or for years beginning after June 15th of 2021. So it'll be for your June 30th of 2022 audit. And that's where you have to record the leases on your books different than you would right now. So like if you have copier leases or lease any other kind of equipment, they have to go on the books. But they keep on pushing that standard back. So they do for the nonprofits and for small for-profits. And for the government, they pushed it back a year again. So we're thinking it may get pushed back another year or two or forever. So so that's pretty much the comments with the management letter. Did anybody have any questions? I'm sure everybody read the audit report, right? Well, if you can't sleep, it's a good option. So any questions on the audit or? All right.
Thank you, Brian.
That's all I had. Thank you.
Very, very much.
Thank you.
Okay, we are on to the COVID-19 update.
Sure. Obviously, you know, it's been a hot topic, but what I can tell you is that our community and even the entire Waukesha County basically did not see the bump in the COVID positive numbers or even direct exposures for the quarantine numbers after Thanksgiving. So we continue to update our dashboard, and as of last week, we had 0 COVID. We had all the staff back. I mean, we are doing really, really well, and we are mirroring what is happening in Waukesha County. When I talk to other superintendents, staff are back, kids are back, and things really seem to be doing very, very well from that end. The district did move forward with the county's recommendation of lowering quarantine from a direct contact from 14 days to 10 days or 7 with a negative test at a certain time. There's certain things that they need to show at dates and times and stuff, but for the most part, it goes from 14 to 10. And so we're really excited about that for all direct contacts. Outside still of a household exposure, it's still 10 plus 10. And that's the one thing we continue to work with our families if you cannot isolate from a positive COVID individual. So doing really, really well. We've had 3 really almost normal weeks here leading up to Christmas. This was another milestone for us that we wanted to get there with our staff, get through that. And then we've got the holiday break, and then we'll be back in the new year as well there too. So we're really excited about continuing to move forward face-to-face 5 days a week. Another conversation that has been very much a hot topic amongst employers is with the expiration of the FFCRA, basically the Federal COVID Act, which allowed employers or mandated employers give every employee a 10-day COVID sick day of paid sick leave that does not affect their own personal time off. So the federal government has not extended that leave. We're not sure if they will. Conversations in DC are not showing that this is something that will make a bill or another legislative approval. So that means we are left with what to do. And in conversations with our legal team and other school districts, the recommendation that the vast majority of school districts are moving forward is that COVID quarantines that are caused from a student exposure at school while working would be 100% paid. If the exposure from a quarantine happened at school, it would be 100% paid. So we do have individuals, as much as we want to 6 feet apart, socially distance, we have some students who need a little bit more hands-on learning experience. So with that, that means we might have some staff members who may have to quarantine if in fact a student, another student and or a staff member, if they're in direct contact as to their job, they would then be paid at 100%, not affecting any PTO. However, if there's other COVID-related incidences that you have to quarantine for, it would just come from sick time. So it just would go in from your sick bank, use your personal days, but the recommendation is to move forward with just your PTO covering all COVID expenses and coverage outside of the quarantines that occur by a student exposure either at school. Because we're telling you not to work. Go ahead, Jennifer.
Good. So if a teacher or staff member were to have to quarantine and have exhausted all of their PTO, would it just be unpaid leave then? Would it fall under FMLA leave? How would that work?
We would just classify it as unpaid because the county has told you not to come. If you've exhausted, we would just assume it'd be unpaid through sick time, no different than if someone is sick and they had run out of sick time, we would keep their job and it just would go unpaid. So their job would not be a job. Any questions about that? You know, it's kind of one full swoop of sick leave or PTO. Okay. A couple other things. We are, from a facility standpoint, things are going really, really well, you know, with the mitigation strategies that we've seen. In talking to our night crews, we are able to continue to clean and do all the things that we have to do. I am recommending, in talking to Kirk and Jim, that we bump from 7:30 to 8 o'clock because it's not affecting any of our work right now. And we're going to think about bumping it from 7:30 p.m. to shutting our doors for the kind of the open facility to 8 o'clock. Again, give another half hour to the community groups that utilize our facilities on a regular basis. And they've been really, really good about getting in and getting out and following everything that we've asked them to do too as well. So that's another step that we begin at the new year, rolling forward too as well. So, no, very proud again of our parents, of our staff, of everybody as we continue to navigate this new world as well. So we'll keep updating everybody.
How about the intermediate?
Oh, intermediate school remodel, I'm sorry. So last week we did receive our DE plan phase, the design and development, basically with all of some of the details and mechanicals and things. We continue to engage with EUA and CG Schmidt to make sure that we refine the estimate. We've begun to all the way get down to some of the fine details of colors, but we were really pleased. We had a 2-3 hour meeting with them to go through all the feedback that the staff has given as it relates to their spaces and some of the continued engineering and electrical, mechanical, plumbing things that we've been able to achieve too. So we have another meeting coming up, I think tomorrow or next week, Monday, to talk about the revised cost estimate. So we continue to move that forward too as well. So we are right on schedule with everything that we've been proposing.
Hey, Ron, committee report.
So we met last Monday, and again, we continue to talk about global awareness and about how do we continue to engage our staff in some of that work too as well. So we had some, we just kind of brought the group together. We did expand the group. We've got a group of about 11 that have been meeting from admin to school board to our specialists to kind of talking about what those next steps are. We need to continue talking about what those next steps are, and we have set another date of January 11th to continue that work. We've been gathering resources, conversations with other school districts and other organizations to see how they've gone about talking about this with their staff and their communities and things like that. But again, more to come as we continue to roll forward with it. But January 11th is our next big meeting date, and we'll continue moving forward with that.
Okay, we're on to new business. First item, we started talking about is closed session. And we are going to continue with the closed session after the session. The one-time bonus. And then we're on to students that school calendar.
So it's in November, we did have a chance to preview it, and I guess, again, I haven't received too much feedback, any feedback at all from that. So just looking for the board to make a motion to approve the 21-22 student staff calendars as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve the 2021-22 student staff calendar as presented.
Okay.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? And all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same sign. Motion's carried. We're on to future meetings and agenda items. Meeting on the 25th.
At 6 o'clock, it is that time we still will need to declare open enrollment seats for the 21-22 school year at that meeting. So we'll start putting that together and see what we look like for enrollment this year.
Any other items that board members would like to see on the agenda? Okay. To that last item on the session.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor of adjourn, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Meeting is adjourned.
Thanks, everybody. Did you want to chat at all about anything? Send me an email or have some dates or something? Is that how we do?